The Friendly Bear and the Beehive Mystery. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest nestled between towering mountains, there lived a friendly bear named Baloo. Baloo was known throughout the forest for his gentle nature and kind heart. He spent his days wandering through the woods, admiring the beauty of nature and making friends with all the creatures he met. The forest was a peaceful place, filled with the buzzing of bees, the chirping of birds, and the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. But one day, the tranquility of the forest was disturbed by a mysterious event that left everyone puzzled. One sunny morning, as Baloo was exploring the forest, he came across a group of distressed bees buzzing around a tree. Curious, Baloo approached them and asked what was wrong. "Oh, Baloo!" exclaimed the leader of the bees, a wise old bee named Buzzo. "Our honey has disappeared from our hive overnight, and we don't know what happened to it. It's a disaster for our colony." Baloo listened sympathetically to Buzzo's tale of woe. He knew how important honey was to the bees, not only as their food but also as a vital resource for the entire forest. Determined to help his friends, Baloo offered to investigate the mystery of the vanishing honey. With a sense of purpose, Baloo set out to solve the bees' dilemma. He started by examining the area around the hive for any clues. As he searched, he noticed a trail of sticky honey leading away from the hive and into the depths of the forest. Following the trail, Baloo ventured deeper into the woods, keeping his senses sharp for any signs of the culprit. Along the way, he encountered various animals who were equally puzzled by the mystery of the missing honey. As Baloo continued his investigation, he couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more to this mystery than meets the eye. Just as Baloo was about to give up hope of finding any leads, he stumbled upon a mischievous squirrel named Chintu. Chintu was known for his love of mischief and adventure, and Baloo suspected that he might have some information about the missing honey. "Hello, Chintu," Baloo greeted the squirrel with a friendly smile. "I'm trying to solve the mystery of the vanishing honey. Have you seen anything unusual in the forest lately?" Chintu's eyes sparkled with mischief as he replied, "Why, yes, Baloo. I saw a group of strange creatures lurking around the edge of the forest last night. They were covered in sticky honey and seemed to be up to no good." Baloo's curiosity was piqued. "Do you know where they went?" he asked eagerly. Chintu pointed in the direction of a dense thicket of bushes. "I saw them heading that way," he said. "But be careful, Baloo. They looked like trouble." Following Chintu's directions, Baloo made his way through the thick undergrowth until he reached a hidden cave nestled at the foot of the mountain. Peering inside, he saw a group of creatures huddled around a pile of honey jars, greedily gobbling up the sweet treat. Baloo's heart sank as he realized that these were the culprits behind the disappearance of the bees' honey. But before he could confront them, he heard a familiar voice calling out from the shadows. "Baloo, is that you?" To Baloo's astonishment, emerging from the darkness of the cave was his old friend, Maya the bear. Maya and Baloo had grown up together in the forest before Maya had left to explore distant lands. Baloo hadn't seen her in years, and he was overjoyed to be reunited with her. "Maya, what are you doing here?" Baloo exclaimed, rushing forward to embrace his friend. Maya smiled sheepishly, her cheeks sticky with honey. "I'm sorry, Baloo. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. I was just passing through the forest when I stumbled upon this cave. I couldn't resist the temptation of the honey jars inside." Baloo nodded understandingly, relieved to learn that Maya hadn't intentionally stolen the honey. Well, it's a good thing I found you, he said. You can help me return the honey to the bees. Together, Baloo and Maya carried the stolen honey jars back to the hive, where Buzzo and the other bees were waiting anxiously. When they saw Baloo and Maya approaching with the honey, their eyes lit up with joy and relief. Baloo, you found our honey, Buzzo exclaimed, buzzing around Baloo in excitement. Thank you so much for your help. Baloo smiled modestly. It was nothing, Buzzo. I couldn't have done it without Maya's help. Maya bowed her head sheepishly. I'm sorry for taking the honey without asking, she said. I promise I'll make it up to you, Buzzo. Buzzo forgave Maya with a gracious nod. You are always welcome in our forest, Maya, he said. Just remember to ask next time before you take something that doesn't belong to you. With the honey returned to its rightful owners, Baloo thought the mystery was finally solved. But as he prepared to leave the hive and return to his own home, he noticed something strange. Among the bees gathered around the hive was a small bee named Buzzy, who was acting unusually nervous. Sensing that something was amiss, Baloo decided to investigate further. Is everything okay, Buzzy? Baloo asked, approaching the young bee with a concerned expression. Buzzy hesitated before replying, I know who took the honey, Baloo, but I'm afraid to tell you. What if they get angry with me? Baloo gently reassured Buzzy that he was safe and encouraged him to tell the truth. With a trembling voice, Buzzy confessed that he had taken the honey himself, out of fear that there wouldn't be enough food for the winter. I'm sorry, Baloo, Buzzy said, tears welling up in his eyes. I didn't mean to cause any harm. I was just so worried about my family. Baloo listened compassionately to Buzzy's confession, understanding the young bee's concerns. He assured Buzzy that he wasn't angry and that they would find a solution together. Baloo gathered the bees together and explained what had happened. He urged them to forgive Buzzy for his mistake and to work together to ensure that there would always be enough food for everyone in the forest. Just when everything seemed perfect in the forest, a new challenge arose. One morning, as Baloo was enjoying a peaceful stroll, he heard distressed cries coming from the direction of the river. Rushing to investigate, Baloo found a group of animals gathered around the riverbank, looking worried. What's wrong? Baloo asked, concern evident in his voice. It's the river, explained Raja, the wise old elephant who served as the forest's guardian. It's drying up and we don't know why. Baloo's heart sank at the news. The river was the lifeline of the forest, providing water for all the creatures who called it home. Determined to help, Baloo promised to find the cause of the problem and restore the river to its former glory. Baloo began his investigation by following the river upstream, searching for any signs of what could be causing the water to disappear. Along the way, he encountered various animals who were equally concerned about the river's plight. As Baloo delved deeper into the forest, he noticed something peculiar. The trees and plants along the riverbank were withering, their leaves turning brown and brittle from lack of water. Baloo knew that something had to be done quickly to save the river and the forest from disaster. Just when Baloo was about to give up hope of finding any clues, he heard a familiar voice calling out from above. It was Mina, a colorful bird known for her keen eyesight and sharp wit. Baloo, over here, Mina chirped, fluttering down to land beside him. I've been watching the river from above, and I think I know what's causing it to dry up. Baloo's ears perked up with interest. Tell me, Mina, "What have you discovered?" Mina explained that she had seen a group of humans building a dam upstream, diverting the river's flow for their own purposes. "They're blocking the water from reaching us," she said, her voice tinged with anger. "We need to do something before it's too late." Armed with Mina's information, Balu knew that they had to act fast to save the river. He gathered all the animals together to come up with a plan to dismantle the dam and restore the river's natural flow. Working together, they devised a clever strategy that would involve each animal using their unique talents to overcome the obstacles in their path. Balu would lead the charge, with Raja and Mina by his side, while the other animals provided support from the sidelines. Under the cover of darkness, Balu and his friends set out to confront the humans and dismantle the dam. As they approached the construction site, they encountered a group of workers standing guard, armed with tools and machinery. Undeterred, Balu and his friends sprang into action, using their strength and agility to outmaneuver the workers and sabotage the dam. Raja used his mighty trunk to knock down barriers, while Mina swooped down from above, distracting the workers with her shrill cries. Despite the humans' best efforts to defend their construction, they were no match for the determination and teamwork of the forest animals. After a fierce battle, the dam finally crumbled under the relentless assault of Balu and his friends. With a mighty roar of triumph, they watched as the river's waters surged forward, breaking free from their artificial confines and rushing downstream with renewed vigor. The animals cheered in jubilation, celebrating their hard-won victory over the forces that had threatened their home. Balu smiled proudly, knowing that they had saved the river and the forest from certain destruction. With the dam destroyed and the river restored to its natural state, peace returned to the forest once more. The trees and plants along the riverbank flourished, their leaves shimmering in the sunlight as they drank deeply from the revitalized waters. The animals rejoiced in their victory, grateful for their unity and resilience in the face of adversity. Balu and his friends knew that they had faced a great challenge and emerged stronger and more united than ever before. As Balu watched the river flow freely once more, he realized that the true power of the forest lay in its ability to come together in times of need. Whether facing a mysterious disappearance of honey or a threat to the very source of their existence, they had shown that by working together and supporting each other, they could overcome any obstacle that stood in their way. The lesson was clear. Unity, friendship, and cooperation were the keys to a thriving and harmonious community. One sunny morning, as Balu was enjoying a peaceful nap under his favorite tree, he was awakened by the sound of rustling leaves nearby. Opening his eyes, he saw a small creature approaching cautiously. "Hello there," Balu greeted the newcomer with a warm smile. "What brings you to our forest?" The creature, a timid rabbit named Rumi, explained that she had recently moved to the forest with her family and was in search of a new home. Balu welcomed Rumi with open arms, promising to help her settle in and introduce her to the other animals. Excited to meet their new neighbor, the other animals organized a welcome party for Rumi. They decorated the clearing with flowers and colorful ribbons, preparing a feast of berries, nuts, and honey for the occasion. When Rumi arrived at the party, she was greeted with cheers and applause from the assembled animals. Overwhelmed by their kindness, she felt a sense of belonging that she had never experienced before. As the party continued late into the night, Rumi knew that she had found a home in the forest and friends who would always be there for her. The following day, as Balu was out foraging for food with his friends, they stumbled upon a puzzling sight. The berry bushes that had once been abundant with ripe fruit were now bare, stripped clean of their berries. Confused and concerned, Balu and his friends searched the area for any clues that might explain the disappearance of the berries. But try as they might, they could find no trace of what had happened. Determined to get to the bottom of the mystery, Balu enlisted the help of his friends to investigate the disappearance of the berries. They questioned the other animals in the forest, but no one seemed to have any information about what had happened. Just as they were about to give up hope, they received a clue from an unlikely source. It was Chintu the squirrel, known for his love of gossip and juicy secrets. "I overheard a group of birds talking about a strange creature sneaking around the berry bushes last night," Chintu explained, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "They said it was small and fast, with sharp claws and a mischievous glint in its eye." Armed with this new information, Balu and his friends set out to track down the mysterious creature who had been stealing the berries. After a long search, they finally came across a mischievous monkey named Bandar. Bandar was sitting atop a tree, munching on a handful of stolen berries with a guilty look on his face. When he saw Balu and the others approaching, he tried to flee, but Balu caught him by the tail before he could escape. "Caught you red-handed, Bandar," Balu exclaimed, his voice stern but not unkind. "Why did you steal the berries?" Bandar hung his head in shame, unable to meet Balu's gaze. "I'm sorry, Balu," he confessed. "I was hungry, and I couldn't resist the temptation of the berries. I didn't mean to cause any harm." Balu sighed sympathetically, understanding Bandar's plight. "I know you were hungry, Bandar," he said. "But stealing is never the answer. There are better ways to find food without harming others." Bandar nodded solemnly, grateful for Balu's forgiveness. "I promise I'll never steal again," he vowed. "Thank you for showing me the error of my ways." With Bandar's confession, the mystery of the missing berries was finally solved. Balu and his friends returned the stolen berries to the bushes, ensuring that there would be enough food for everyone in the forest. As they reflected on the events of the day, Balu and his friends realized that sometimes, even the most well-intentioned actions can have unintended consequences. But by working together and supporting each other, they could overcome any challenge that came their way. To celebrate Bandar's newfound understanding, Balu and the other animals organized a forgiveness ceremony in his honor. They gathered in the clearing under the light of the full moon, singing songs of forgiveness and unity. Bandar stood before the assembled animals, his heart filled with gratitude for their forgiveness and acceptance. He vowed to repay their kindness by being a better friend and neighbor in the future. As the ceremony drew to a close, Balu smiled proudly at his friends, knowing that their bond was stronger than ever. In the forest, forgiveness was not just a word but a guiding principle, reminding them of the importance of compassion, understanding, and second chances. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Balu and his friends continued to explore the forest, learning new lessons and facing new challenges together. Whether it was helping a lost animal find its way home or rescuing a trapped creature from danger, they knew that they could always count on each other for support and friendship. And as they journeyed through the forest, their bond grew stronger with each passing day, a testament to the enduring power of unity, forgiveness, and love. In the heart of the forest, the memory of Balu and his friends' adventures lived on, inspiring future generations of animals to follow in their footsteps. Their story became a legend, passed down from generation to generation as a reminder of the importance of kindness, forgiveness, and friendship. And as long as the sun shone and the rivers flowed, the forest would remain a place of wonder and magic, where every creature was welcomed with open arms and every friendship was cherished as a precious gift.